This is the movie about Wallace Shawn as a wizard.
It's really a letdown when you realize it's not about Wallace Shawn as a wizard.
I wish this was about Wallace Shawn as a wizard. I feel like
it opens with Wallace Shawn as a wizard.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, we're in for a good time.
We're in for a good stupid time here. It's like whenever Wallace Shawn as a wizard isn't on screen, I'm like, where's Wallace Shawn as a wizard? I want more about this wizard that helps out the Vaughn clauses.
Crown Prince Nicholas St. Nicholas Von Claus!
He's Santa Vaughn Claus, by the way, not Santa Claus.
Weird.
We learned some real Santa lore in this.
What is the name of this movie again? Jolly Old Saint...
Jolly Old Saint Prick.
Jolly St. Nicholas. It's Mr. St. Nicholas,
It's Mr.
right?
St. Nick.
It's good. I don't remember the name of the movie. It's because every one of these fucking movies is like the same name.
Yeah.
Mr. St. Nick, the movie that asks, what if Frasier were Santa?
Yeah.
Hi, Santa.
Oh my God, what are you, 20? Get out of here!
What if he was Santa's loser son?
Yeah, what if Santa, played by the guy from When a Stranger Calls Back and Solar Babies,
Charles Durning.
only known for When a Stranger Calls Back.
Yeah. He's always like, man, when they had that person painted as the wall, that was the height of cinema.
I wish that Frasier was dressed and was painted like the wall in this movie.
Yeah. Just Santa Durning comes in. Where are you, Nicky? Nicky! Oh!
You're gonna take over for me or no one will!
It's really weird because little Santa Jr. Frasier has some real penis envy with his younger brother, the Anti-Claus, Niles Claus.
You've created a whole new narrative. What if Santa, played by the guy from When a Stranger Calls Back, had a doofus son that was Frasier, and he...
And what if Santa horny?
Where in blazes is that son of mine?
What if Santa was horny?
It's a classic Frasier plot, but now you get it with a Santa twist.
It's not like men have never used sex to get what they want.
How can we possibly use sex to get what we want? Sex is what we want!
If my charms would work on her, my God, I should register this dressing gown with the love police.
All the hormones virtually ricocheting off the walls. And no one was chasing me.
Go ahead, buddy. I'm listening.
Blowhard!
Tyrant!
Ass!
True!
You are a pompous blowhard.
Harridan!
Know-it-all.
True!
Knob.
Are you as turned on as I am?
What? No!
Reservations!
Oh, Roz, listen, I managed to get some reservations at San Gennaro's tonight.
We've got dinner reservations. Push the reservation back another half an hour. So I can make us a reservation for dinner on Sunday.
Yes, hello, this is Dr. Frasier Crane. I have a reservation tonight.
What do you mean? We've had the reservation for over a week.
Yes, I had a reservation.
I'm afraid we're at your mercy tonight. You see, we have no reservation.
I just remembered. We have reservations at Le Cigare Ballon.
Oh, Niles, I managed to score some reservations tonight at San Gennaro.
Niles made the reservations a month ago.
Yes, I'm calling about a reservation tonight. Oh, I better make the reservations under a different name. Yes, we'd like a reservation.
I say we go somewhere we don't even need a reservation.
Santa's gonna retire. He wants his son to take over. His son just wants to be a philandering.
As it was foretold by Wallace Shawn.
Yeah. His son wants to just be a doofus in Miami, but he wants to take over, but they just butt heads about how to do things.
Yeah.
Classic father-son stuff.
It's pretty straightforward. Mom gives me the sack, you give me the torch, I'm Santa Claus. What could go wrong?
Also immigration.
And also immigration.
Do you want your Santa plots mixed with immigration plots?
The greatest INS agent in the world.
Immigration!
He does it all.
The INS agent that's responsible for immigration, embezzling.
Immigration!
Nick St. Nicholas, you're under arrest.
For heaven's sake, for what?
Fraud and grand larceny.
Arresting, interrogating, he does every single He
job.
investigates all crimes, but no matter what, when he comes in, he's gonna say immigration. Regardless of if the crime relates to immigration.
Move over, Judge Dredd. I am the law.
I am the law.
So I checked out his so-called charity, and guess what?
Frasier, are you sure we have to do this charity thing this afternoon?
Oh, come on, Ross.
He's siphoning all the money out of the Mr St.Nick.com accounts into his own personal account in the Cayman Islands.
Oh, I better make the reservations under a different name.
Yeah, I love when he comes to arrest them for embezzlement, he still has to say immigration when he comes in.
Yes.
Yes, sir, I know he's got some ritzy friends. I'll wear a tie. Hey, look at this, yo! Sorry, kids, ain't gonna be no Christmas commercial. This whole Mr St.Nick.com thing's one big old rip-off scam.
I saved the children's lives. I'm a hero.
Tell them they'll live to regret this.
You'll live to regret this.
Wow, great Simpsons joke, Phelan.
This is an amazingly silly movie, and it's really funny when you see this as a Hallmark Christmas movie because they're just so stuck in the same movie over and over these days that you see this was like, why can't they produce bullshit like this still? This is funny.
Yeah, this is good stuff. It feels like, Hallmark realized what worked for them, but now all of them are like Christmas Baker, Christmas Prince, Christmas whatever. It's all sort of the same movie.
Have they done Santa again?
Have they done Santa again?
Yeah, has they done their dumb formula, but it's Santa who's the prince, because that's what's going on in this one.
Not as a prince, but there's been plenty of them where, it's a hot Santa.
They do refer to the Clauses as the royalty.
They are royalty in this, so technically he was the original Christmas prince.
What should I call you? Mother? Mom? Your Majesty.
I was seriously waiting for stupid Kelsey Grammer to have a Santa sash at the end, like all the princes at the end of those damn movies. They always show up in their damn sash outfit at the end,
I could see him playing the king in one of these new ones. They always have actors that are a little too good for these projects playing the king and queen.
The Borg Queen.
The Borg Queen. So that was in the actual Christmas Prince movies, right? Was Alice Kriege?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we should have reviewed the Christmas Prince movies.
Show is next year.
We're forgetting a main element of this, in that this is not only a bad Hallmark movie, but it is also a bad knockoff of the Santa Claus.
Yeah, there's a bit of that in there. At one point, the suit tries to make him fat or something. The hat tries to crush his head. It's like he's being transformed against his will.
Yeah, see, Santa is becoming fucking senile.
Give her that doll she wants.
She wants to raise a scooter, sir.
Oh, of course. Give her the scooter.
You can't fix toys. You don't know which child is which anymore.
Fine.
Yeah, he's losing all his Santa magic, and it's transferring into Frasier, whether either of them wants it or not.
Yeah.
You want me to take over Christmas? You gotta let me take over. I'm just afraid that you don't really want to retire.
I don't want to retire, because when I'm not Santa anymore, who will I be?
Apparently, it's this is the year this switch has to happen. They don't get any choice in this.
Yeah, they act like they have a choice, but actually they don't, because he's transforming into Santa, and it seems like this changes your personality too, because it's making him jolly.
Yeah, it makes you more jolly.
So it's did he really have any free will in this situation?
No. He starts hoeing. It's you're getting more jolly. You must be getting Santa magic.
Oh my god.
Are you all right, sir?
Of course I'm all right, Jasper. I've never been better. I'm just very happy.
You're positively jolly, sir.
All the other elves are kids, except for his butler elf, which is an old man. Not really an old man, but, compared to them, an old man.
Maybe because he's left the North Pole and had to babysit stupid Frasier Claus.
That was
Santa Crane.
There was a Letterboxd review that was talking about the scene at the end where he flies the car, and then they said that their dad asked them if they used a crane for the shot, and they said, yeah, a Frasier crane. Do you love when he flies the car?
It's the magical escape from the police.
What the?
I'm getting the hang of this.
IMDb thought this was such a good quote where the INS guy is just like, I'm not phoning this in.
That guy didn't phone it in. He was ridiculous.
There's no way I'm phoning this in.
I'm the sleazy INS guy.
Well, we should mention how the INS guy gets involved. So, Santa Frasier, his real name's like St. Nick?
Yeah, Nick
St. Nick.
Little Santa Jr.
Yeah, Little Santa Jr.
Look at Little Santa Jr.
And no one seems to like make this connection. His name is St. Nick, and he's also playing Santa Claus in these commercials and stuff.
In fact, the name I picked is Mr St.Nick.com.
He hires a new chef, which is a Venezuelan immigrant. Her name's Lorena, and this INS agent is like following her and her family around just being an asshole. Even though I don't think any of them are illegal immigrants, right? Like they all have papers. I think she has some problems with her visa, but
she is about to renew it.
Yeah. So there's like some issues there, but they're all there legally.
Like, this INS guy just hounds anyone who's about to renew their visa.
Apparently.
While he also has to check into embezzlement things and do interrogations.
So he's keeping track of this chef, and then he's also keeping track of this embezzlement scheme that's happening with this charity that Nick gets roped into by his sexy girlfriend.
The weather woman.
Yeah, the weather woman who is flirting with him so that she can get him in on this charity thing, and then her and her boyfriend can steal the money.
And we get to keep the whole enchilada.
Lucky for us, there's so many generous people in the world.
Somehow she gets engaged to Nick at some point in the middle of this.
I should be home right now asking her to marry me.
Oh, Nick, that's so sweet and romantic and loud.
His engagements are super quick because Santa horny. It's just like that dumb relationship at the very end of Frasier comes out of nowhere. That's the way all of his relationships happen. He's like, I went on one date with her. I think this is the woman for me.
Yeah.
She's going to be the new Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Claus just wants to kiss me.
Yeah, I'll kiss you. Come here, I'll kiss you good.
Constantly just like, he's like, maybe I'll just marry him. Maybe I'll get with him. Fine, I found my Mrs. Claus, whatever.
Yeah. It's just, it takes him no time. One day he's like, I think this is the new Mrs. Claus.
I think this one's special.
Oh, Nicky, is she special enough to be Mrs. C?
Well, she might be.
Lorena, will you marry me and be my queen?
I really like Heidi. I want her to be the real Mrs. Claus.
Really?
Oh, St. Nick, you're doing this again.
And then Wallace Shawn Wizard comes out. It's like, when do I get to say fish metaphors or puns or whatever?
Oh, it smells fishy in here.
Smells
It must
fishy
be
in
the
here.
fish wizard. Because he talks about fish for some reason. Just for the halibut.
I think we should call Mimir.
No, I don't need to see any blessed wizard.
Herring rots from the head. Only salmon swim upstream.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, it means something's fishy. I just read the stuff. I don't write it.
Can you try to interpret them?
All right. Just for the halibut.
He's an elf that's older. We didn't, because he is like an elf, right? A wizard elf.
Is that what happened? He's just a wizard, an elf that learned more magic?
Yeah, well, he's got elf ears. So I think he's also an older elf, even though the rest of them are children. So
Yeah,
I guess
maybe.
some of them are, maybe they're like even older. They're more
Yeah,
wizened.
he
I don't
left
know.
the North Pole too and became old. Just like his butler babysitter.
Yeah, I don't think we really like explored enough the fact that Santa is going senile and experiencing like santile dysfunction.
Santile dysfunction.
Donner! Listen!
I can't get it up.
Oh, that's all right, dear. That happens to everybody sometimes.
I love that's a joke they really make. It's just, I can't get it up.
Is that something you really want in your Santa movie? Like
Yes.
Santa like grappling with
Yes, it is.
old age as his mind and his faculties leave him?
I love too, they imply him getting mad at stupid Santa Crane is because he's losing his jolliness.
Yeah,
It's like, you're losing your Santa high, you're coming down, that's why you're getting so mad at him. But he is being a doofus.
Apparently he's got all the power now.
But he doesn't know that. And he doesn't know what to do with it.
If he wants my help, he can bloody well come to me.
Is this really like a struggle between a father and son, or like two guys that just can't handle all the hormones going on? Because they have Santa puberty and regression. Should this have been called Santa puberty?
Santa puberty. I don't know what good Wallace Shawn the Wizard really is when he can't tell them, you should have been working on this switch over well before Christmas Eve here, guys, because you're going to lose all your powers on this Christmas, Santa.
I'm a very busy wizard. If your family gets their act together, I'll see you for the real thing on Christmas Eve.
You can't hold this back any longer.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't know it was a thing because
he was out
it's
fishing.
It seems like it's once every 100 years that Santa has to retire and then a new one
he
takes
gets
over.
no choice after that.
But he said that he was there on Halloween for his father to transfer over or whatever. So he was there early. They didn't, it didn't run out before they did that.
When I took over from my father, I was there at Halloween with a beard on my face and my bride at my side.
So it's been at least 200 years since, that came into play. So maybe no one knew. I don't know. Maybe Wizard Wallace Shawn is 200 years old. I don't know.
I don't know. Did he have someone who was doing his job before him? Did they tell him anything?
I don't know. Maybe it's like in the Santa Claus where they just keep coming up with rules out of their ass. They're like, oh yeah, that was always a thing.
Holy matrimony. I gotta get married. It's the Mrs. Claus.
In the normal world, Frasier Claus is rich, and you have to assume either Santa just gave him a bunch of money so his doofus son could live down in Florida and be an idiot, or he's embezzling from the charities, because that's what he's best known for, is his philanthropy and running all these charities. So if Santa didn't give him the money, how did he get so rich?
Maybe he got in trouble because people started examining his currency and they're like, Santa bucks? The hell?
Blows Santa dust. Good thing I stole this from Dad.
I don't think they ever explain, why he's a millionaire, but it doesn't seem like he does any other job. He just does a bunch of charity and stuff, so I guess he must have gotten it from his dad.
He's
Maybe,
basically just like Frasier when he loses his job at the radio and he still can spend endless money being an idiot, going on about reservations and how horny he is.
From this moment on, the station is all Latino music.
I beg your pardon?
Thank you, Dr. Crane.
What the hell just happened?
You just got us all fired!
Niles and I are meeting for dinner, and then we have tickets to the theatrical event of the season.
Does Santa also have a birth certificate and an identity in the world? Because, he flies.
Bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed your flight.
Hardly. I'm sorry. I'm only pretty jolly.
You have to have a passport for that stuff, but he could have used a Santa magic to make a passport, I suppose.
I don't know, maybe they do just have identities that they magic into the system.
Well, Nick does. Maybe they're like vampires. They have to keep coming up with new identities and go to new places to explain why they don't age like normal people.
Hey, well, Sean, I need a passport again. And then he gives it to him. This is a fish on the picture. Can you stop with the fish shit?
I didn't really get how old that Frasier was supposed to be in this, right?
Yeah.
Because is he supposed to be the age that Kelsey Grammer was?
Yeah.
Or
he was 47 around then.
Yeah, so did he have an old dad who had him when he was 60-something years old? Or is he also much older than he seems?
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer is supposed to be canonically 80-something in this movie. Lorena finds out that he's super old and is like...
Actually, no thanks.
Yeah, this movie's a romance, right? So he's getting together with this supposed citation needed. He gets with this weather woman who's just using him.
Heidi,
yeah. What kind of name is Heidi for royalty?
Oh.
I'm Heidi Gardell.
Heidi, what kind of name is that for a queen?
There's a bunch of times where she's not really acting that sinister and she's just kind of acting nice, and his parents are like, oh, he's gonna marry her?
Nikki, how can you marry that silly weather girl?
They seem like judgmental assholes about nothing.
I think they think she's just a little tart, not good enough for their son.
Those commercials were terrible, so she's a shitty person, I guess.
That horrible commercial, turning our proud family heritage and our name into that vulgar website.
But the message was good, don't you think?
That .com thing is a stupid idea. and lazy.
On the surface, these commercials are about giving to a charity to give gifts to underprivileged children, so I don't know why they're all like, ugh, that's terrible! Who wants to give gifts to kids who can't have any bought for them?
You used our name for a website. That's automatically cynical.
Automatically bad.
Technology bad. Get off your phones.
Which is part of what Kelsey Grammer's complaining about his dad. He's like, oh, you won't let me update anything. You won't let me use the computers.
He's like, I think I can improve on Christmas. You can't improve Christmas!
What about adults? I'm just trying to get more gifts to deserving people. If you'd listened to my ideas in the first place...
Don't turn this around and blame me.
In between there, in a scene we don't really get to see, a romance blooms between Nick and the maid, or not the maid, the chef. She said she didn't want to be a maid.
She didn't want to be a maid, the chef.
But I'd like to offer you a job.
As a maid?
No.
She'll take it.
Which is not much of an upgrade.
I'll be a chef.
Why would you become a cook?
It's a live-in chef, too, which is something they just kind of spring on her as they're telling her the jobs. Like, oh yeah, you'll live there. Oh, will I?
All right.
Oh, yes, your accommodation?
Are we living here?
Yes, is that all right?
Yes.
Romance blooms between them, despite the fact that prior to her expressing interest, they don't seem to have any good interactions. Even when he's like defending them against the INS agent, he's still scolding her about taking care of her papers or whatever.
Yeah, make sure you got that paperwork in.
Yeah.
And make sure you get my reservations in. Their first interaction is him being an idiot, digging around his car as he's driving so he veers off onto the wrong lane, and then she yells at him. He's like, oh, how dare somebody yell at me for my shitty driving! I will kill that tart!
She's extremely qualified. She'll stay.
Just tell her how I feel about sarcastic remarks and such. And when people answer back to me.
He's actually murderous, is the thing. We didn't mention that. He's a murderous Santa.
He's Santa magic so many, and they've never been seen again.
Keep an eye on this for me till I get back.
I should be delighted, Your Majesty.
Deep down in a pit, and he's like, I'm listening.
There was a great scene after Nick gets arrested for this embezzlement scheme that he was not aware of. He hangs out with this prisoner guy who's Arnold Schwarzenegger's stunt double. That guy was pretty funny.
Yeah, he's a highlight.
So what are you in for?
Generosity.
Yeah, me too. Give a new client a free sample, he turns out to be a cop.
Like he somehow knows a lot of the situation too, because he's talking about the other guy who's involved with the scheme. He's like, oh, you thought he was your friend.
Is Heidi your woman?
My fiancée.
She know this Hector?
Yes, as a matter of fact, he introduced us. Oh. Are you suggesting that... But Heidi's my fiancée.
And Hector was your friend.
This scheme, though, like, it barely makes any sense. So they want Kelsey Grammer as the face of their Nick St.Nick or whatever .com charity thing.
Spring break dance.
Yeah. Good one, Mary Kate.
This is cutting edge. Good one, Mary Kate.
They want him for the face of this thing, and they're like already ready to go with a bunch of this stuff. It seems like they already have the studio ready to shoot these commercials. So what was their plan if he didn't want to do this? Because he just met the weather girl at a party and decided, yeah, I like her because Santa horny. So yes, of course I'll do these stupid commercials. And they're like, yeah, for sure. If we do a couple shitty commercials, people are going to donate millions of dollars to this website, because that's what happens.
Because
there's just a few crappy commercials and millions of dollars.
He's the most eligible bachelor in Miami. If that's not going to get all those people donating, I don't know what will.
How soon can you get to the airport? Nick's been arrested and I've got $5 million and 2 tickets to the Caymans.
I don't get what the weather girl, why she wants to go with the scheme of rob from a charity and then disappear to the Caymans with the other douchebag who wants to do this, because she might as well just cut him out and stay in Miami and marry the millionaire.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
If she really wants to be in the money.
Yeah, I don't think marrying him was part of the plan, but it suddenly becomes
it
part
comes
of
up.
it.
So then she could cut him out at that point.
You can only assume that she meant to marry him and then maybe get access to the bank account.
Yeah, they were still getting married on Christmas Eve, right? And then they would have had to steal the money before Christmas. otherwise it's going to go to buy the children the
he's the one that
presents.
suggests they get married on Christmas Eve. So
And she
I don't
loves
really
it.
know. Yeah.
I was planning an intimate soiree on Christmas Eve. What do you say we get married then?
On Christmas Eve? Nick, that is so romantic.
I don't really know what their plan was.
Yeah, a real
overall.
tight time frame here to try and steal any extra money out of this.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
No. Just like his romances, because he goes on 2 dates with her, shoots some commercials. He's like, I want her to marry me. And I was like, uh-huh. And then he practices his proposal with Lorena, and then she's like, oh, I love him.
Why? Why does she love him?
Most of her scenes are with the butler guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I think you're falling for him. It's like, was she really, or is he just planting that idea in her head
He's
with
like,
his
look,
elf magic?
it's her or the other lady, and I'm gonna pick Lorena, okay? She's the better person, so I'm just gonna try and move it this way.
Her and her stupid nephew, Denny. Who's like, wow, are you really Santa?
Wait, who are you? Big Daddy?
Big Daddy?
Hey, who are you? Big Daddy?
And he has to shake him. Get off me, you filthy little urchin!
Oh, it's unbearable!
Big Daddy?
I have reservations! I don't have time for this!
I can't be Santa Claus, I'm going to the wine club!
If Santa isn't the leader of the wine club, then what is he?
Well.
Yeah.
Wizard.
Buy Lucifer's beer!
You have never included me. Even when I was a little boy, I used to beg you to let me sit on your lap and drive the sleigh. A little Santa wants to do that with his father.
Ah, here we go. This younger generation lives to drag up the past.
Buy Lucifer's beard!
Yeah.
Wizard Wallace Shawn. He's like a shaman of sorts, and they ask for his help. I mean, he's got the erectile dysfunction or whatever, and then he throws some ruins or whatever.
Let's see what the runes can tell us.
What can these tell us? Nothing.
I'm calling Mimir.
No, don't call it that quack.
I love
also-
Santa even calls him a quack before he comes in. I don't want that stupid quack in here.
He's basically fucking Rasputin to the royals, you know, like, but they can't kill him. They've tried.
Yeah. They poisoned him.
They poisoned him. He just kept
Put
coming
him
back.
in a carpet and threw him off a bridge.
Yeah, like he drank the poison chalice and he's just like, he gets back up.
You only think I guessed wrong. That's what's so funny. I switched glasses when your back was turned. Ha ha, you fool.
Santa has an ornament transport effect when he teleports from place to place, a bunch of like Christmas balls. Which most of the time people don't notice, but sometimes they do. It's inconsistent.
At the very end of the movie, after Heidi's decided to run off with douchebag to the Caymans, the INS guy who does every police job in the world comes to get Frasier again, and he uses his Santa magic to teleport him on a plane, and he's like, how'd I get here? Oh, well, they're somehow tied up on these seats. They're under arrest. I don't care.
That's the end of my story. What?
It's all good, I guess.
I don't know.
Immigration!
Immigration! Well.
I don't know how they became tied up either. Like, unless like Kelsey Grammer used his Santa magic to
Yeah,
do
he had
it.
to Santa
But
bulb them.
what's the limit to Santa magic? Because all we've seen is him like doing teleporting and maybe like, you know, he could hear kids' thoughts and see who's on the naughty and nice list.
Listening.
He's listening.
New bike, sneakers, Walkman.
A new bike, Walkman, and sneakers.
I'm listening.
He can hear everything.
You better watch out.
Or Santa Claus is going to be horny on you.
Santa's gotta have it!
Merry reservations!
Eventually he accepts being Santa, and after all this stuff gets sorted out, they have a big father-son talk. He goes to the North Pole, and then he's like, hey, Lorraine, I want to get married. And then like, no. And then she leaves.
Absolutely not. Why would I want to marry you? We've had like no chemistry this entire movie.
I don't know about Venezuela, Miss Braga, but here, road rage is frowned upon.
Venezuela, we stay on our side of the road.
Excuse me? There's something you should know. I don't really care for it when people talk back to me, especially in my own home.
The other lady said no. What about you? They get
You
married.
can be my silver medal.
If this came out today, people would be complaining that having her as Mrs. Claus was woke. Woke.
I like that Kelsey Grammer has a beard at the end of this, but she's like, I don't like that beard. Don't worry, it's fake.
I'm not so sure about the beard.
Oh, don't worry. Just did this for my dad.
I couldn't really have a beard. He never had a beard.
He never had a beard.
I never had a beard.
What?
I've never had a beard.
And then he goes, fuck Santa. And then they take off in the sleigh, and then he embezzles all of the Christmas.
Merry embezzlement, everyone! To the wine club!
Gotta make more jokes about Dartmouth.
Yes, this will be the greatest series, just like my reboot.
She won an Olympic medal.
Bronze? Do you even call that winning?
Bronze. The Dartmouth of medals. Because otherwise, who knows where I would be? Probably a head of department at some backwater community college.
Cornell.
Niles will be so jealous he's not on that.
How about my son, the fireman? That dude either for you.
Frederick, you need to be the new Santa.
Dad.
Fireman, though. Oh!
All those great Frederick jokes where he says, I'm a fireman.
Santa hates you.
I don't have anything else to say about this movie.
No.
You can check it out on Tubi if you want to see it for yourself. It's a serviceable time. Frasier horny.
Yeah.